another art journal page in my Dinah Weekly Mixed Media Journal. So I had some turquoise paint that I spread on this page from another project where I just had too much paint, and I decided to take the same turquoise paint and finish painting this page with this Dinah Weekly turquoise paint. So that's what I'm doing here, just going around and finishing coloring this page with this same paint. And then I dry this real quick, and then I go through the Dinah Wakely collage collection and see if there's anything in here that might kind of jump out at me to add to this page. So I decided that I wanted to use one of the images that I saw in the beginning of the book, and that's this image here with the heart. So I cut that out and decide to cut around that to add that to the page. And this is something that I purchased recently and I've been having fun with. And then I have this Dinah Wakely stamp here, image that I also recently got that I want to use on this page. So I kind of want to put the stamped image down and then add this little heart tag or whatever to the page. So I decided to just use double-sided tape to tape this down to the page. And so that's what I'm doing here, just putting some double-sided tape on it. And so the image, I want to go there, and so I'm trying to figure out, where I want to put that. So I put that on the page, and then I get out my Ranger Archival ink pad. This is the large ink pad. It's great when you have big stamps like this, and I'm just making sure it gets inked really well. And then I'm stamping this down on the page. And I'm just giving it good pressure because I want to make sure I get a good image. And when I pulled it up, I'm like, I don't know. It's not standing out as well as I thought it would. So I decided to pull out this journal that I, been stamping images in, and I decided to stamp the image in that journal to see if I could get a better image, which I did. So I like that. So I decided I was going to use that on this art journal page. So I just quickly cut that out to of this piece of media paper to use on the page. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, I kind of like part of the stamped image being on the page itself, and the face being on the Mixed Media Journal page. So I cut out the other part that I didn't want on the mixed media paper. And so then I also, this came with some like little words here that I decided that I wanted to also put these on the same page. And so I take out the journal again to stamp these on there so that I can add these to the page. And as you can see, it says rise above, listen to your inner voice, and refuse to be ordinary. Is that what it said? I think that's what it said. Yeah, refuse to be ordinary. And there was this other little stamped image that was like scribble text, and I was thinking about using that on the page as well. That also came with this stamp set, but I couldn't quite figure out, the best place to use it, and I decided not to use it after all. So anyway, I cut these sentences out or words or whatever, and decide, where I'm wanting to put them on the page. So I like how, where they're at on this page. And like I said, I decided that that other stamped image wasn't going to really work. But I thought I wanted to put like some kind of a border, and I got these stencils as well, which are Diane Raverly's Dilution stencils, so I used one of those to add a border, but here I'm quickly going ahead and gluing down the face and then the text, because I figure I'll get these glued down to let them dry so I can color them while I'm creating my border for the page. And I'm just using Aleene's tacky glue because this paper is kind of a thick paper. So I choose one of the borders that I want to put to add to this page, and I decided to use some of Dinah Wakely's paint here, the pink paint. So I just squirt that out, and I'm just using my finger to go through the stencil. And it ends up being kind of a messy, but I don't really care. I like that, I felt like that it went with the page. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I decided I'm just going to do it on the top and the bottom. It didn't really need to be on the sides because for one, there's not really room on the sides. And so yeah, I'm just doing that on the top, the same as I did on the bottom. And I really like the Dinah Wakely paints. They're really nice and smooth and pretty colors. I've really been enjoying using them. I had 3 colors from before, and now I've got 3 more with this kit that I bought, so I've been having fun using them. And then here I decided I'm going to use my watercolor paints to paint the face and the text. So I just quickly spray, and this is, as you can see, an Arteza watercolor set. And I sprayed all the cakes with water to activate them, and then I'm trying to get somewhat of a flesh tone here, but I wanted kind of a rosy flesh tone because typically my formula for flesh tone is orange and pink and then a little bit of white. But here I'm using orange and yellow and just a touch of red because I kind of wanted to get a warm kind of flesh tone. So that's what I'm doing here. Just quickly coloring the image with the color that I came up with. And then I'm deciding on what to do with her hair. Actually, I couldn't decide, so it ended up multicolor. I painted part of it with blue, and there I'm putting some rosy cheeks, and then part of her hair I did with like kind of a reddish brown. So she ended up with multicolor hair because I couldn't make up my mind what to do there. And so yeah, just coloring her lips with some red and adding a little bit more of the flesh tone to darken where the shadow areas are. And somehow or another my camera shut off, but basically the only other thing I did was color the text in some pink. And then here I'm using my Posca pen to just scribble around those circles. I just felt like they needed some scribbles, so I did that. And then add like a frame around my text. So that's what I'm doing here, is just adding a frame around my text with the it's a black Posca pen. I love these Posca pens. They go over anything and everything. And then I decided to do a scribble around the heart and then around the tag. It just seemed like all these things needed some scribbles. And then I decided to do some scribble writing over the image and across the bottom. It just seemed like it needed some, more scribble writing on this image and on this page. And I am writing something. I don't remember what I wrote, but I did end up, actually writing something because I found out if I actually write something, it makes more sense and it looks better. And adding some little hearts. So that's pretty much the art journal page for today. Thank you for stopping by and watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye bye.